All right, welcome back everybody to Monster Hunter. We have reached the Monster Hunter. We're talking to the muscular chef. He is very muscular. Muscular. He gives us the ability to slay some very basic level monsters, which will give us some food. It'll allow me to upgrade his offerings. We have to go after the Tobukadachi still, so we can do either that, or we can go after the little baby monsters. We're not going to obviously go after baby monsters in this recording. I'll probably do that off camera because I don't want to bore anyone with me running around trying to find fish and bugs to kill. Hooray! My cat got feline groomer. Ooh, he's grooming the other kitties for unknown reasons. Unknown to me, anyways. Meow. All right, we're gonna go kill Kobayashi. This is sort of where the rubber hits the road, per se.
In order to use one of your specialized tools, you'll need to equip it from the item.
So they're telling me about my mantle, my ghillie mantle.
But their effects only last for a limited amount of time.
Yes, we know.
If the tool you're using stops working, don't worry. It'll recharge after
You just
a while.
have to take it off, which I believe the game automatically takes it off. But if you happen to be wearing a ghillie mantle and you take it off, guess what? It goes all the way to 0 and has to recharge. So either don't take it off or don't worry about it. Anywho, not the point of this story. Part of this story is that Tobukadachi is in my opinion, the first major challenge that you're going to run into in this game. Up to this point, we fought a Kuliaku Ajanath? No, we have not fought the Ajanath yet. We fought the Tobukadachi, Puki, or Puke, something. The Great Jagras, the Baroth, and the Shuraya, or whatever, however you pronounce this stupid fish name. So, Tobukadachi is the step up here where we're going to go from basically very simple. You'll roll over this monster probably without much trouble, so long as an Ajanath doesn't come in and take a big bite out of your asshole. Tobukadachi is an actual challenge, so there's a good chance that I will cart due to ignorance, due to poor play. He has the ability to stun you. He's an electric-based monster, and up to this point you have sort of basic armor. Now obviously if you decide that you're going to farm the Jiraiya that we just fought, you might be okay in this fight because I believe he has, I could be wrong, I believe one of the two monsters in the Wildspire waste has some resistance to electricity. So by either hunting one or the other monsters, it'll give you a little bit of a leg up on fighting him because you're not as affected by the electric element that he's spawning. However, he will stun you regardless. So anyways, this is Tobukadachi. He's a pain in my ass. He's not the worst monster by a long stretch, but he does move around a lot, and he does like to do this flip thing where he either hits you with his tail or he does a backflip body slam. And then he can also do a thing where he does sort of like a flying squirrel thing where he's up here, he'll jump off, do the flying squirrel thing, then do a backflip and basically make your life dead. Like this. Oh well, didn't do it that time. So we'll have fun with this. If he hits me with the electricity, I will get a status that is Thunderblight. And
You've been hit with thunder.
Yeah.
Be careful. You'll get stunned more easily.
You're more likely to get stunned when you have Thunderblight. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use a Nullberry to nullify the Thunderblight. and that'll help to prevent the stun. Like that. Because if you're stunned, you can't move. If you can't move, you get hit. If you get hit, you're gonna get carded. I do like the Jaggerus weapon here because it does have the built-in effect of exhaust damage, so it is exhausting these monsters faster than they probably should be getting exhausted. And I fainted because he's super strong, and I wasn't paying attention to my health. Anywho, let's root around in our supply box and see if they actually gave me stuff, i.e. free health stuff like first aid kits, and probably some nullberries. Oh look, nullberries. How interesting. That's not at all, that shouldn't be at all surprising to me, yet it is. Why? Because I'm an idiot. Alright, we're gonna take on Kobe Kadachi again because, like I said, he's a little difficult. More difficult than some of the monsters I've fought so far. And as I've not really been upgrading my armor, and I should. This is going to be a little bit of a punch in the face, I think. So while we're fighting the Kobe Kadachi, I'll tell a quick story here. When I was growing up, it was not a common thing. Occasionally my mother would get like little treats to put in our lunches. Okay. Cookies. Pudding cups were the big one. And just the weird one was the one that I really liked. I don't know why I liked it. I think it was more of a visual thing than anything. Was the pudding cups that had the chocolate and the vanilla in it, so it was like striated, if you will, like you have chocolate, vanilla, chocolate, or some like combination thereof. And of course, you would just stick your fucking, as a little fucking 4-year-old, you just stick your fucking spoon in there and eat it. Not really savor the vanilla flavor or the chocolate flavor. You just get in there and go, chocolate vanilla, chocolate vanilla. But sort of get to my point. Occasionally my mom would buy like snack cakes, like if you know what a Swiss roll is, there was a version that Hostess made back in the day called Ho-Hos, which was sort of a lower quality version of like a Swiss roll that Little Debbie makes. And long story short, my mom would buy most of these Hostess type products, but she never buy Ding Dongs. I never really understood why. And a Ding Dong is just essentially like any other snack cake. But instead of being shaped like a Swiss roll where it's rolled up, or like a Twinkie, which is, you know, white icing with vanilla cake, it was more like a hockey puck, you know, chocolate with vanilla frosting on the inside. Nothing to really write home about because the cake was sort of like meh. I never had them growing up. So of course, when the hostess company makes Twinkies and Ho-Hos, and they made another thing that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Twinkies, Ho-Hos, Ding Dong, something else. And you have access, and your parents will occasionally buy all three of those things over the course of a year, but they won't get that fourth one. Yeah, you're always going to be like, man, what's wrong with Ding Dongs? Are they bad? And then you finally get to try one, and you're like, well, they're not that bad, you know? So I'm not really sure why my mom didn't like Ding Dong. Maybe it was just a matter of she stuck to the brand she knew. Who knows? Here's an odd one for you, though. The only reason I know this is because this was sort of a local thing. Local Western PA thing. Maybe it's in other places as well. I don't know. Little kid growing up. My mom, when we'd go up to visit her brother in Cleveland, she would buy 2 banana flips, which were, I don't know if it was made by Hostess per se or one of the other cake companies, but it's essentially like a round piece of cake that you flip over. You put this banana cream filling in it, and they call it a banana flip because you flip the cake is sort of like a taco, and it's you flip it over one side on top of the other, and so, but apparently my uncle up in Cleveland couldn't get these, so my mom would go to the whatever grocery store. I know they sold them definitely at like a convenience store, like a gas station convenience store. Usually have them in stock, along with other candy bars and other sort of things like that. My mom would do that. She would buy a local newspaper for whatever reason. Again, I know why, because my uncle liked reading the local news, even if it wasn't in Cleveland. And she would buy him 2 banana flips, so he'd have one to eat immediately and one to save for later. But that's another one of those curious things. Oh, he fucking backflipped my ass. You gotta watch out for that attack. That attack, and the one where he does sort of a flying squirrel thing where he jumps, does a hover, and then the backflip is killer. Again, some of that has to do with the fact that I'm not keeping up with leveling up my armor. It's sort of all... It's the basic hunter's gear, and it doesn't really have any innate benefits. Plus, it probably has lower than average defense as compared to building a Jaggeris set or building a one of the other sets. Probably have a little bit higher base defense. Plus, like I said, he is an electric-based monster, so having any sort of thunder resistance would help me greatly, instead of having no thunder resistance. Of course, it's better to have no thunder resistance than have negative thunder resistance, which typically a lot of the armor has trade-offs like that, where it's like, this armor is good against fire, but really bad against water, so don't use it against water enemies. Also, be sure to collect all honey as you pass it, because I use so much fucking honey in this game, it's not even funny. See him drooling? That's because I made him tired with all the slashes to his face. You know what else is really good at tiring out monsters naturally? Hammer. Take a hammer, put it on a creature's head. It's gonna tire them out. Actually, it's going to probably cause them major brain damage and they'll probably die from, but you can also use, I think you can also use a flash here and knock him down out of a tree. Stop trying to bite me, it's rude. So, I don't believe you can cut Toby's tail off here. I could be wrong. I think this is again is one of those monsters where this isn't a lizard. His tail's not going to grow back, so you're not allowed to actually cut his tail off. Or if you are, it's just going to be the very tip of his tail. Come on. Do it. Up. I almost. Yeah, I got another. I wanted to do the fucking static discharge on his ass. He had to fucking die right before I had a chance to do it. It's such a cock tease, you know? Like you're building up to that big climax, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm done. You're like, what do you mean you're done? I'm done. Okay, we're done. We're done doing this. Like, no. No. Like, well, just go to the bathroom and finish yourself off. Like, fuck you. That is not how that works. Actually, it is how that works. Happy life, happy life. Windrake hook. Hooray! End mission. Questo completo. Yeah, the Toby has a big fucking set of his teeth that run straight down his gullet. Like a, kind of like a snake, but not really.
You're just the awesomest.
Thanks, dude. You're cool, man. Perhaps you can give me some fertilizer. I need some fertilizer for this tree here behind me.
Hunters of the 5th, come see me.
It's
I've got an urgent
urgent. Can't be more urgent than taking out the Agenath, can it?
What?
Also, cycling my bounties is super duper important. Hey, bud, got some new stuff. Want to have a look? No, you don't have any new shit. Don't lie to me. You ain't gonna have any new shit for me for at least another couple missions. Welcome back. Finish carrying base. That's right, old Betty Agenath. Before we attempt to capture Zorg and Magros, we need to hunt out the Agenath. One tough adversary, stay on your toes. Putting more protein into your pre-hunt meals, whatever that means. Should help you with your hunts. Either way, drop by the canteen later. You'll find out for yourself. Anyways, powerful monster like Agenath won't be taken out easy. Object is urgent. Speaking of which, now that we've done both of the quests for the muscular chef, he's upgraded his cooking. Of course, this might be because I've reached the Agenath quest that this upgraded naturally, but I don't know. I did the side quest while you weren't looking. But every time so now that I've unlocked Chef Platter, I'm going to be doing Chef's Platter from Chef's Choice from now on, because it tends to be the best. Also, this is the cutscene. So I'm letting it play out until the cutscene changes again. And then I'll let that one play out. Otherwise, I'll be skipping these.